All right, so what is your name, ma'am?
Ariel Justo.
Okay. This is a battery domestic violence. I can't tell if there's any victims here with that TV there.
He's present, Your Honor. He's in the booth there. Eric Bueno is the named victim.
I'm here.
Mr. Bueno retained me yesterday, Your Honor, and was desperate to get this moved up, but we weren't able to get a hold of the court or to get a pretrial release to add her to the list for yesterday.
Okay,
They're here on vacation from Chicago. He wishes to have contact. He didn't contact law enforcement, doesn't wish to prosecute, has had no prior incidents, and they are to fly back today if they can get out in time to make their flight.
all right, let's place him under oath.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and
Eric
spell your
Bueno?
last name.
Bueno.
And that's B-U-E-N-O?
B-U-E-N-O, yes.
Make sure you speak up because I can't
Oh,
hear.
sorry, B-U-E-N-O, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're here this morning to set conditions of release for Ms. Justo, and you're the alleged victim. What did you want to say, sir?
That I never wanted her to get arrested or anything, and didn't want any press charges or nothing like that.
You got to speak up.
Sorry, I never wanted her to get arrested or anything that night. I don't know why it happened, and I don't want to press charges or anything, and I just want her out.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Mr. Bueno, are you in fear of her in any way?
Not at all, not at all.
Okay, has there ever been any incidents between the
Never, this has never happened. This is
Okay.
a big misunderstanding.
And you understand that if the judge imposes a condition on her that she have no hostile contact with you, that's something you could be comfortable with?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Would you like to have contact with her while this case is proceeding?
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
And if something were to happen, would you call 911?
Of course, yes.
No further questions.
All right, so what is defense requesting then?
Your Honor, we're asking for whatever the minimum bond is you can impose on the case so that they can take care of getting back to Chicago, and I'll be forwarding a declination to the state as soon as I have an opportunity to draft it.
Anything from the state?
Your Honor, the state would just request no hostile contact with the victim. It appears she qualifies for pretrial release.
So is that what you're recommending, pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pretrial release then, no hostile contact with the victim. Anything else?
Nothing from the state?
Okay.
Your Honor, related to that case, there's also Miss Rachel Bueno, whose husband is present, who's going to also testify similarly.
Okay, I can come up.
Thank you, Eric. You can.
All right, raise your right hand, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Frank Bueno, B-U-E-N-O.
Okay, so you're the, again, listed victim in this case. We're here to decide what conditions of release to place on her. What would you like to say?
That I didn't want her to get arrested, and I didn't call the police on her.
No, they actually witnessed her strike you, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so are you in fear of her?
Not at all.
All right, anything from the state?
Yes. Would you like to have contact with her while this case is proceeding?
Yes.
And if anything were to happen, would you call 911?
Yes.
Nothing from the state?
Any prior incidents of this?
No.
She qualify for pretrial release as well?
She does not, Your Honor.
She does not.
There's out-of-state history, batteries and assaults from Illinois, it looks like.
Are you aware of those?
No.
That's all the information I have. It's out of state, it says Illinois. It doesn't say that it's the same victim.
Anything from the defense?
This is a surprise to my client, Your Honor. I don't know what those cases would be, but I've spoken with Frank Bueno, who actually retained me on my client's behalf, and he indicated to me that there's no prior history between the two of them, so I'm relying upon the information I've been provided.
You have a date on those other ones, or?
No, Your Honor, I didn't have the time to run a full rap sheet. As here it says, the out-of-state convictions out of Illinois, there's an ordinance, there's a battery, bodily harm, 2 counts, assault, a DUI, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. That was just an arrest, and another arrest for a battery and DUI. But as for case numbers and days, that's all the information I have.
All right, so what is the state requesting?
The state's leaving the amount of bond in Your Honor's discretion. I just wanted to make sure you were aware. We're just requesting the no hostile contact as previously discussed.
Okay, I'll set bond at $2,000. No hostile contact with the victim. You're not to consume any alcohol. Okay, anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. May be excused. Thank you, Your Honor.
I can check. 21 MS.
Maybe at the end.
513.
You
Does
think
the
what?
Creole have a victim?
It's Division 50. Says it's going to be. And it looks like it's going to go to Rasul Bouillon as the ASA.
Spanish?
Last name is B.
I need to call him, right?
I.
Okay, interpreter. Call.
Good morning again, Your Honor. This is Theodore Leal, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has been previously sworn, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, our first one is Colina. Yes. The battery, domestic violence. We'll appoint the public defender's office.
Dominic Hennigan for the Office of the Public Defender.
And victim is not here. Okay, so order no contact with the victim in this case, separate residence. Does she qualify for pretrial release? Yes. Any objection, state, or?
No objection from the state.
Okay, pretrial release. No contact.
Just quickly, Your Honor, Colina, is that spelled with a C? Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Couldn't find her name on the database, that's all.
Next one's Perez Carmona. I will appoint the public defender, another battery, domestic violence. Like there is a victim here with a child. They will place her under oath.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Alexandra Belmont, Belmont.
Okay, I'm here today to set conditions of release, and you're the alleged victim in the case. So what would you like to say?
I'm not pressing charges or anything, and it was never meant supposed to happen. It was all a big misunderstanding, actually.
All right, well, there were two at least one person that saw him hit you in the face twice, according to the report, so that's more than a misunderstanding.
I mean, I would have marks on my face, and I would feel it. I was not hit in the face. We were trying to avoid each other from leaving, so we blocked each other with our arms, but never hit each other in the face.
So you did what with your arms?
Just block each other. You know how you block somebody? Just because he was trying to leave the park and he doesn't have a cell phone, so I didn't want him to get lost. He has nowhere to go, and I just wanted him to go back inside the park. This was all at Disney.
Okay, State? Mhm.
May I inquire?
Mhm.
What is your relationship with the defendant?
He's my boyfriend, so the father, father of my son.
And do you wish to have contact with him while this case is proceeding?
Yes, we live together.
Have any similar instances occurred in the past?
No.
And if something were to happen, would you call 911?
Yes.
No further questions.
All right. Does he qualify for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
On pretrial state, pretrial release?
If he qualifies for PTO, the state doesn't object.
Pretrial release, no hostile contact with the victim. Public defenders appointed. Anything else?
Nothing from the state?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Duran is next. Mr. Duran? Yes. Another Spanish case. You do not need the interpreter?
¿Te intérprete?
Victim does. Okay, what is your name, sir?
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Andres Duran.
Okay. You have a violation of a domestic injunction. And then you're out on bond on some charges, it says. And let's place her under oath.
Raise your right hand.
Levante la mano derecha.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con la ayuda de Dios.
Sí.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Por favor, diga su nombre y apellido para que conste en las actas.
Belén Martínez.
Belén Martínez.
Okay, I'm trying to decide what conditions of release for him today. What would you like to say?
Deben poner las condiciones de liberación. ¿Usted qué quiere decir ante el tribunal?
Que tengo terror de que él vuelva a la casa porque el arma que estaba en la casa no aparece. Y él entró a la casa, dentro de la casa, y yo estaba trabajando. Y quiero que lo pongan en un lugar donde lo puedan ayudar con cuestiones de droga y que él se pueda recuperar porque bajo las influencias de la droga, él no es mi hijo, él es otra persona.
Yes, I am terrified because he came back to the house, he went into the house, and that weapon that was in the house is nowhere to be found now. So what I want from him is to place him somewhere where he can get some help, where he can get help with substance abuse, a place where he can go and recover, because when he's under the influence of drugs, he's not my son anymore. He's like somebody else.
Anything from the state?
May the state inquire? What is your relationship with the defendant?
¿Cuál es la relación que usted tiene con el acusado?
Mi hijo.
My son.
And do you wish to have any contact with him while this case is proceeding?
Y mientras este caso está en curso, ¿usted desea mantener contacto con él?
No.
No.
Are you in fear of the defendant?
¿Usted le tiene temor al acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
Bajo la influencia de la droga, sí.
Yes, when he's under the influence of drugs, yes.
No further questions.
No hay más preguntas.
Okay, it appears he's out on bond on battery and false imprisonment. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, he's out on bond in case 2021 CF 11956, and he also has an open DUI out of Brevard County.
Y él tiene otros casos ya también por agresión y detención falsa, caso 21CF1195A, y tiene también un caso pendiente por conducir bajo los efectos en el condado de Brevard.
All right, in the 11956 case, that bond's going to be revoked and go to no bond.
Se le revoca la fianza que tenía en el caso 11956.
And his new charge of violation of domestic injunction, that bond will be $5,000.
Por la violación de violencia doméstica, la orden que tenía, la fianza van a ser $5,000.
No contact with the petitioner or victim.
Se le prohíbe el contacto con la víctima o con la demandante.
No return to the scene, and it's not to possess any weapons.
Se le prohíbe volver al lugar de los hechos y se le prohíbe el uso y tenencia de armas.
Public defender is appointed.
Se le ha designado un defensor público.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Is that any other interpreters, or is that it? Okay, thank you, interpreter.
You're quite welcome, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Chancellor's next. Okay. What's your name? What's your name?
Danny Chancellor.
Okay, there's a warrant issued for your arrest here on aggravated battery, dating violence, it says. We have a victim here, if we can swear her in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Brandy Fernetti, Farnetti.
All right, and are you the victim in this case?
Yes.
All right, what would you like to say?
I do not want to press charges, and he's a good man. He does not deserve to be here.
State?
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship with the defendant?
He's my fiance.
And do you wish to have contact with him while this case is proceeding?
Yes.
And if something were to happen, would you call 911?
Yes.
No further questions.
Is there any history?
The prior history of convictions in Florida include a DUI, a refusal to submit to DUI testing, and a Willis. There's a history of arrest for battery and an out-of-state history for assault and domestic violence.
All right, so what's the state's position?
The state's not going to take a position as to the amount of bond to be set. We'll leave that into the discretion of the court, but the state would ask for no hostile contact with the victim and no weapons and no firearms.
And do you have the affidavit for the warrant? Do we know what the aggravated part of this battery was?
I can pull it up. Just give me one moment.
Yeah, if you want.
On the arrest warrant affidavit, there was a call to 911 of the victim saying, "Can you send somebody to help me? My boyfriend just busted me in the head. I'm bleeding everywhere." The police show up, noting that there was blood everywhere. Trying to see if there was a weapon. Victim stated that she got into it with her boyfriend, that he grabbed me and threw me around. I don't know what happened. Paramedics came on scene. That sustained a laceration of approximately half an inch to the upper right side of her forehead and would need several stitches. Paramedics also advised that they were concerned there would be internal injuries to the head. Then it was determined that she needed further assessment at the hospital. She was taken to the hospital. It looks like he may have hit, on the arrest affidavit, that he hit her with the refrigerator door. And I believe that's what caused the injuries.
All right, I'm going to set bond at $5,000. I am going to order no contact with the victim in separate residence. Public defender is appointed.
Your Honor, is the public defender appointed to all cases unless otherwise stated?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, your name?
Mark Andrew Probst.
Probst. Okay, this is battery on law enforcement, battery domestic, and resisting without violence. Public defender is appointed. Is there a victim here? No? We're going to order no contact with the victim, separate residence. You may return one time to pick up your personal items with a law enforcement officer only. Anything from the state?
The state would ask that there be no alcohol, as within the affidavit it indicates that that might be what provoked the attack.
All right, we'll order you not consume or possess any alcohol. And any history?
There appears to be out-of-state history, burglary, a couple different burglaries of a building, burglary of a vehicle, and thefts, but nothing from in-state, to my knowledge.
All right, so the battery on law enforcement has a bond of $150. There's $100 on the resisting, and we'll set a $2,000 bond on the battery. PD is appointed. All right, what is your name?
Andre Vives?
Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have aggravated battery on a pregnant person, false imprisonment, burglary of an occupied structure. That was a warrant. All right, place her under oath.
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Cassandra Sierra, Sierra.
Okay, and you're the victim in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm deciding what bond conditions to release him under. What would you like to say?
He's fine. He's fine to come home. I'm giving birth in a week, and I need him. He did not burglarize my burglary because he had keys to my house. He's fine. I'm not scared of my life or anything like that. Also, I was wondering if you can put the bill down for the other 2 charges because they're pretty high, and with me having the baby any day now, we need as much money as we can. And the false imprisonment, I was not stuck anywhere because the doors was not locked.
Okay, state.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship to the defendant?
My husband.
And do you wish to have contact with him during the proceeding of this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Have there been any other prior incidents?
Nothing. We've been fine.
No further questions.
Any history, state?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 4 prior felonies, 15 prior misdemeanors, and 4 prior failures to appear. There In Florida, the convictions are for criminal mischief, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of cannabis, and one second. There are multiple prior arrests for battery, battery, aggravated battery, battery DV, domestic battery strangulation, and there doesn't appear to be any out-of-state history. In terms of history, that's all the information the state has.
Yeah, I won't be pressing charges.
All right, on aggravated battery on a pregnant person, I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. You'll have no contact with the victim, separate residence. The false imprisonment, I will set at $500, and the burglary of the structure, I'll set at $1,000.
Okay, so he can't have contact even though I'm about to give birth?
Nope, cannot. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, what is your name? Okay. Public defenders appointed. This is a battery domestic violence.
May I be heard on this?
Certainly.
Your Honor, I do not believe that there's probable cause for the battery in this case. It looks like it was mutual combat. There was information sent to the state attorney about the alleged victim so that the state attorney could decide if they wanted to press charges on the alleged victim as well. Because we don't know who started the fight and it does appear to be mutual combat, Your Honor, I do not believe that there's probable cause and we ask for RR in this case.
It looks like the co-defendant is Christopher.
Yes, Your Honor, he's listed as the co-defendant, but he was not arrested and there were not any.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, the state's going to argue that there is PC within the four corners of the affidavit. The alleged victim did tell officers that when he came home, the defendant began throwing several items at him. He was also the only victim on scene that had any injuries observed. PC is a low standard. It's the facts and circumstances to the officer at the time, whether something might have occurred. The fact that they didn't arrest him and sent it in as a non-arrest, I don't believe that negates PC. I think Your Honor can certainly take that into account when determining the amount of bond that's appropriate. But
So where does it say she struck him?
Yes, Your Honor, I can point it out. It's kind of hard because it's just one big block. But it says, upon my arrival at the residence, I came into contact with Christopher, who stated in a verbal statement the following: Christopher and Keziah went to downtown Orlando and had a couple of drinks. When they arrived home, they started arguing. Christopher walked outside of the residence, leaving the door unlocked. Keziah then locked the door to the residence, leaving him without a way to get back inside. He kicked the door down to make entry into his own residence. That is when Keziah came back home and became irate, started throwing items at Christopher, and in the next line down it says Keziah started to scratch Christopher, causing 2 visible scratch marks, about 1 inch length on both of his arms, and t-shirt ripped due to the physical altercation.
Your Honor, if I may? Going within the four corners of this affidavit, both Ms. Baz as well as Mr. Gonzalez would be listed as victims in this case. And going off of what Ms. Kazas stated in the report, it states that Christopher kicked down the door and both parties started arguing, and Christopher grabbed Keziah's arm without permission and pushed her. Your Honor, within the four corners of this document, we have no idea what actually happened. They are both victims based off of the information that was given. And so because this appears to be mutual combat, I believe there's no probable cause for this charge.
I think there's enough PC in the report for the arrest. Does she qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And he's not here, or he's not in custody or anything, right? So order, at this point, no contact separate residence, pretrial release. Bennett is next. Okay, battery, domestic violence. No victim here. Anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, there's an active warrant in Pinellas County. And in terms of history, there's 1 prior felony, 1 prior misdemeanor, and 2 prior failures to appear. And it looks like the failure to appear was from this year.
Does she have a hold here for the other county?
Yes, Your Honor.
She does?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a bond on that other one, or?
Yes, Your Honor. $2,026.
Okay. All right, I will set a $2,000 bond, no contact, separate residence. Okay, we'll appoint the public defender.
Your Honor, can we roll him to tomorrow?
Okay. That means there'll be no bond set. Is that what you want to do?
Your Honor, he needs to be advised of the no contact and any other conditions that would be placed on it. So I just want to make sure that the judge does tell him so.
Okay, reset for tomorrow. Which judge is out here tomorrow, do we know?
Judge Bain or Gibson?
Judge Bain.
I don't want Bain mad at me for resetting it. I don't want that man mad at me. Okay. Davis, battery, domestic violence, PD's appointed. All right, let's place the witness under oath.
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Nicholas Ryan Davis, and Davis.
All right, you're the alleged victim in the case, and what would you like to say about the defendant being released?
I'm not pressing charges, and it was just a misunderstanding, and my family would like for her to come home.
So she grabbed a hold of your beard and pulled you down?
Yes.
All right. All right, State?
May I inquire?
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship with the defendant?
Brother?
And would you like to have contact with her while this case is proceeding?
Yes.
And if the judge were to order no hostile contact, would that be okay with you?
Yes.
Are you in fear of the defendant?
I'm not in fear of the defendant, no.
No further questions.
Is there any history?
It looks like there's no history other than 1 prior arrest for a battery.
For a battery?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
When was that?
I could check. Looks like it was from 2013.
Different victim? And
1 moment. It was a different victim, Your Honor.
are you aware of the other battery?
I am aware of the other battery.
Okay, and you're still not in fear?
I'm still not in fear.
Okay.
It's just something that happens from time to time. Sometimes we just lose our temperament.
Okay, and I'll set bond at $1,000, no hostile.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you believe that she qualifies for pretrial release?
She qualify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that what you want, State?
State doesn't object if she qualifies.
Okay, pretrial release, no hostile contact with the victim. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Green is next. Okay, and this is Lindsay Green, public defenders appointed, say battery. I do not see a victim present. What does the state want to do with this one?
The state would only make the court aware of, there just seems to be one prior misdemeanor. It's the traffic related, but other than that, there's nothing else. The state would just ask for no contact with the listed victim.
So pretrial release, no contact?
I don't believe she qualifies for.
Oh, she doesn't?
No, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
And why does she not qualify?
The community ties could not be verified, and although we made contact with the victim, they stated that they would not attend court today.
They said what?
They would not attend court.
Okay. You just need community ties from her?
Yes, no community ties were verified.
Does she have some way? Does she have some way to verify her community ties?
Your Honor, we'd ask for pretrial release to reconsider and re-interview her. She has stated that she's lived her entire life, and her whole family is here in Orlando. And if after the interview, if she does qualify for pretrial release, we'd ask for pretrial release.
All right, so pretrial release with no contact with the victim. If she doesn't qualify, it'll be a $500 bond plus no contact. Okay?
Okay. So we need to talk to pretrial release and then we need to get some information.
Okay, so what are they?
Or is that if you don't get pretrial release, you have a $500. You just need to talk to pretrial release.
So I call this number?
No, talk to pretrial release.
Stephen Herrera. Battery domestic violence, PD's appointed. I don't see a victim coming forth. State?
The state would only make the court aware that there is a prior battery with the same victim, it looks like, and aside from that, they would just ask for no contact with the listed victim.
There's a prior battery, just a charge or a conviction, or what was it?
It was just an arrest. It was with the same victim, and it happened October. The case was from around October of 2020.
All right, no contact with the victim, separate residence.
Your Honor, I do believe he qualifies for pretrial release.
All right, so pretrial release, state?
Yes, it does qualify.
If he qualifies, the state doesn't object.
Okay, pretrial release, no contact, separate residence. Warren GoCrow. Here, this is a battery domestic violence. I don't see a victim here. State, anything?
The state would just make the court aware that there's a prior battery out of 2005. It was just an arrest. and it was for a different victim. Aside from that, the state would just ask for no contact with the listed victim.
Qualify for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So pretrial release, state, and no objection?
No objection.
All right, no contact with the victim, separate residence. PD is, of course, appointed.
Your Honor, can we ask for a one-time return to,
Yes, may return one time with law enforcement to pick up personal items only. Salgado. Another battery domestic violence case. PD's appointed. No victim is approaching at this point. She qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
And no contact with the victim, separate residence. She need to return one time?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, so pretrial release, no contact with the victim. Bobby Saylor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You raise your right hand, man? Thank you.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Tiffany Saylor, Saylor.
Okay, we're here today to determine what conditions of release for Mr. Saylor. You're the victim in the case?
I am.
And what would you like to say?
Your Honor, this was a big misunderstanding. We came to Orlando as kind of like a save our marriage trip, and it got heated on both sides. It was one big misunderstanding. I never wanted to press charges, and I was going to see if we could get him released so that we could go back home.
So you're not in fear of him?
No.
What about this .45 caliber pistol?
I mean, we both have firearms. I'm not scared of them.
Where is the pistol?
Police took it into
they
custody.
did?
Yes.
Okay. State?
May I inquire?
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship with the defendant?
That's my husband.
And do you wish to have contact with him during this proceeding?
Yes.
And are you in fear of him?
No.
And if something were to happen, would you call 911?
Yes.
And are you aware of any incidents that have occurred, any similar instances occurring?
No, this is the first time.
No further questions.
You have any history, State?
It looks like there might have been an identification problem, so I was not able to obtain any information. I would just ask that there be no hostile contact with the listed victim and no weapons or firearms, given the facts that are within the arrest affidavit.
He supposedly pointed a gun at himself, right? Pointed it at his head, said.
Yes.
Okay, we'll order not to possess any weapons or firearms until this case is resolved. And you to have no hostile contact with the victim here. And does he qualify for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor. His fingerprints haven't cleared yet, so I wouldn't do a straight PTR. Maybe or bond.
So I will set a $1,000 bond plus pretrial release, no hostile contact, no weapons or firearms. Yes,
Did you say or and?
plus, and. Smith is here. This is a battery domestic violence. I do not see a victim. Does she qualify for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
So there'll be no contact with the victim, separate residence. Any objection to pretrial release, State?
No objection from the state.
Okay, be pretrial release. She need to return one time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, she may return one time with law enforcement to pick up personal items. Michael Thomas. PD's appointed. I don't see a victim. It's a new charge of battery, and he's out on bond on aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's 2020 CF 10618AO. Bond will be revoked and go to no bond. Anything on this new case, State?
The state would just make the court aware there are 3 prior misdemeanors and 1 prior failure to appear. The misdemeanor convictions are reckless driving, and there's a failure to appear on a DUI, and there's also a duelist. But there are several arrests for batteries.
I'll set bond at $2,000. He's not to consume any alcohol. No contact with a victim. And I revoke the bond in the other case. I have Vanessa Thomas. As criminal mischief, battery, dating violence, and appearance. She's out on bond on leaving the scene of a crash. And that's 2021 CF 7172AO, which was transferred to 2021 MM 6172AO. So that bond will be revoked and go to no bond. I don't see a victim here. Anything from the state?
There's just a prior arrest with a different victim of battery, but there are no convictions that the state is aware of.
All right, on this domestic case, I will set a $1,000 bond. No contact with the victim, separate residence. Criminal mischief will have a $100 bond. Bell, that's the next one. Hey, when I started as a judge, I hardly ever saw a female charged with a crime. Now y'all are catching up. That's not a good thing. It was rare. Okay, ma'am, you have burglary of a conveyance, accessory after the fact for a burglary, possession of burglary tools, PD's appointed. You'll be ordered to have no contact with victims, no return to the scene. Bonds are set at 1,000, 150, and 150. Looks like Division 15, PD's appointed.
That's it.
Okay, Bruno, Anthony?
Yes. Your Honor, may I be heard?
Yes.
Your Honor, the defense states that there is no probable cause for the petty theft that's charged in this case. Within the 4 corners of the affidavit, it states that Mr. Bruno did grab an item and throw it at the alleged victim, but there's no intent to permanently deprive him of it. So we would state that there's no PC for this charge, for the petty theft.
Okay. It'd probably be RR'd anyway on it, so. I'll just RR in the petty theft anyway. State?
Your Honor, the state does concede that I also don't believe there's a PC for the petty theft count.
Okay, so no PC on the petty theft, ROR. And then we have the bond set on the burglary, the 5,000, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 3,500. That would be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene. Possession of Xanax, $1,000. PD's appointed, looks like Division 15. We have Campbell. Looks like Division 10 for Campbell, grand theft of a motor vehicle, bond is set at $1,000. And then he's out on 2021 CF 8117AO. We'll revoke that ROR. We'll go to no bond at this time. Before we leave that, this is a burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery, and it was ROR. Was that a 33-day motion, or
I can check, Your Honor.
have charges been filed, or no billed, or? It's kind of a weird ROR on that charge. That's a life felony. Yeah.
Your Honor, it's been filed as September 21st, 2021. It was filed as charged.
Your Honor, it was a 33-day motion.
Okay. Okay, so that bond's revoked. All right. All right. What is your name?
Alice Crisostamo.
Okay. And you have a failure to appear, capias 2,000, another one for 500. It's Division 12. We'll appoint the public defender if they're not already appointed. Okay, Alberto's next. How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Dolores Savanon.
Okay. Division 10, aggravated stalking with a credible threat and assault. I don't see a victim here. State?
Yes, Your Honor. In terms of convictions, there is a conviction for DUI, driving while license suspended, a couple of driving while license suspended, but that is all the information that I have.
Okay, on the aggravated stalking, I'll order a no contact with the victim, separate residence. I'm going to put a $2,500 bond on that, and the assault charge will be an ROR. Division 10, it looks like. PD's appointed, all right? Looks like Kenneth Dent.
Yes, sir.
So you have a driving license suspended as habitual, bond of $2,500. And then you're out on, looks like a felony petty theft with prior convictions in 2021 CF 12392AO. And that bond will be revoked and go to no bond. And the other bond is stayed. PD's appointed. Okay. Duffy. Okay. Harvey. This is a failure to appear, capias of 5,000 and one for 100. Division 19. We have I wanted to say mosquito, but it's mosquito. It's getting late. All right, next one can come up. Omar. All right, what's your last name?
Ada.
Skada. All right, you got 3 cases. One's possession of methamphetamines and drug paraphernalia. Bond was set at 1,100, Division 19. Public defender will be appointed. Then you have Division 17. Failure to register as a sex offender. That bond will be set at $2,500. And then there's a Division 20 where there's failures to appear for $2,200 and $200. Anything else, State?
Nothing from the state.
Okay, PD's appointed. Eddie Pickard. Okay. Have new charges of trafficking in meth and possession. Division 20, bonds of $50,000 and $15,000. You're out on bond. And 2021 CF 1491AO, that bond will be revoked and go to no bond. PD's appointed. Porter, here on possession of cocaine. Okay. Mr. Pickard also had an arrest for the heroin within 1,000 feet of a place of worship, and that bond is $10,000. Okay, and Porter's here on possession of cocaine, on possession of synthetic cannabinoids, and trespass on property after warning, bonds of 1,000, 150, and 100. It's Division 22, PD's appointed. All right, PD's appointed. Do you want to do what with that?
We'll waive her appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, it's possession of meth, resisting without violence, criminal mischief, 1,500 and 250, Division 16.
He has an open case, Your Honor.
What's that?
He has an open case.
Who has an open case?
For bond, that's what we're discussing. She has a competency.
She has a what?
Competency.
A competency?
And competency hearing, yes.
Your Honor. Sorry. She does have an open case, 2019 MM 8916AO. We'd ask for no action to be taken on that case. There's been a notice of incompetency that's filed, and it does look like there's a competency hearing that's scheduled for November 30th.
State, want me to take any action or not?
Let me just, one moment.
Give me that case number one more time.
It's 2019 MM 8916AO.
Doesn't look like she's been found incompetent.
No, that is correct. There was a notice of incompetency that was filed. There is a confidential evaluation that's scheduled for the 29th. It's scheduled at the public defender's office. And then there is a competency hearing that's set in this courtroom on November 30th.
Also looks like there's at least 2 capiases that have been issued by Judge Bigney. One on October 12th of 2020 and another on December 26th of 2019.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and revoke the bond on those cases. Go to no bond. Have a Dazzle? Shiban? Oh, she's here, okay. So driving license suspended with knowledge, bond is set at $500. Qualify for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial release, anything from the state?
No objection from the state.
Says Division 85.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
What's that?
Any conditions?
No. Obviously, don't violate the law. That's always common sense. Jones, Rasheem Jones, this is a no valid license case. He qualify?
No, Your Honor.
No. Bond is set at $500, Division 80.
Mhm.
Vasquez Ramos bonded? Okay. Ferreira? Okay,
Your Honor, may I be heard on this case?
go ahead.
Your Honor, the state has offered two different offers to Mr. Ferreira, one being an adjudication of guilt, 5 days credit for time served, or an adjudication of guilt and 3 months supervised probation with no return to the scene and court cost. The defense would be asking if the court would be willing to do credit time served on this case. It is a trespass.
Your Honor, may the state be heard?
Yes.
The reason that the state was not inclined to offer a credit time served offer is because, as indicated in the arrest report, that the defendant was threatening people with a weapon. I believe it is a knife as described in the report.
Your Honor, I do understand that that's in the report, but there's the caller who said that they could not be found. They didn't identify themselves, and there was not a knife that was found.
I can also go through history.
He was trespassing, went back. Does he have a history of trespassing or?
The last conviction was from less than 1 month ago for a criminal mischief of $1,000. There's been several arrests. He's a 2-state offender, notably fraud, disorderly conduct, possession of a concealed weapon, cannabis, trespass, bat DV.
Your Honor, the defense would like to inquire on whether those are arrests or convictions.
These are out-of-state convictions.
Okay.
Out-of-state arrests. Malicious bodily injury, violation of conditional release, felony assault, an FBI arrest, possession of cocaine, failure to appear.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything less than 30 days based on that history.
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Ferrer has indicated that he'd like to take the 3-month supervised probation offer from the state. Would the court be willing to take that today?
No, he's not going to make probation.
Well, then you're going to sign public defender about it.
What's that?
You're going to have to speak to your assigned public defender.
Okay, Ferreira, I'll stay the bond at $500, no return to the scene. Haddon is, okay. Public defender's appointed, you want to address this?
Your Honor, I'd like to roll this to tomorrow because it is a pleable.
Okay, I'm going to tell Judge Bain, you did it.
I will say sorry.
Will you be here tomorrow?
I will not.
Yeah. Me either.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Hamilton.
Okay, trespass on property.
The state has extended an offer of adjudication of guilt credit for time served and court costs. I have gone over a plea form with Mr. Hamilton. It is signed by both him and myself. Would the court be willing to take a credit time served offer today?
Ken's, how much, there's what, 2 days credit?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's his history?
There is one prior trespass from this year, nothing else in Florida. And then some trespass out of state and criminal mischief out of state.
From what I see in here, probably 10 days.
Can I, Your Honor?
Yes or no? Is it about?
Please give me time. My flight leaves Wednesday. I can show you proof of that. I've been stranded, which is why I got the trespass. My flight leaves Wednesday at 9:26, and I'll be going back home, and I can't stay on the street any longer. And it took me forever to get the money for this flight. But if you can and you want me to pay something, I can do that. Like if you want me pay a fine or something after I leave, but my flight does leave Wednesday, and please, my flight leaves Wednesday, sir. Please give me time served.
I don't have any proof you have a flight.
Yeah, I can show you the proof of my flight, sir. Yes, sir, I can.
Where is that proof?
It's in my cell phone, and I can show you proof of that, sir. My flight code, and it leaves Wednesday.
Well, sir, you keep trespassing. You're trespassing on businesses. And here it says you were staring in the window.
No, there was a woman.
Previously trespassed on October 3rd.
Well, there was a woman inside the window that worked there, and she told me that if I wanted water, I could come and ask. And I guess the police officer thought something differently, and she gave me some water. When she called me, I actually had a cup of water, and she knew I was waiting on my flight, so she had been.
Your Honor, if I may?
Mm-hmm.
Would the court be willing to do an adjudication of guilt in 4 days? That would get him out on Tuesday in time to make his flight on Wednesday.
Okay. Want to do that?
Okay, so I will leave Tuesday. Morning and night.
Yes.
Yeah, but I couldn't get credit for time served now, sir.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll take 4 days.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Mm-hmm. All right. Is anybody forcing you to plead today?
No, sir.
You had enough time to discuss everything with your attorney?
Yes.
I have your plea form here that covers your rights and the rights you're waiving or giving up by pleading guilty or no contest. Did you read and understand everything on the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir, none.
Any questions?
No, sir, none.
And you understand the charge of trespassing after warning?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea to the charge?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. And I do have a factual basis in the arrest report. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the county jail. You have credit for 2. You're not to return to that location.
Yes, sir.
And there's court costs. You need to have paid within 180 days of today.
Okay.
All right. What's that?
Hampton bonded.
Hampton. I have McLean. Okay. Claims here, PD's appointed. This is, looks like a petty theft. And then he's out on ROR. On another theft with prior convictions. 2021. MM6744AO. That bond will be revoked and go to no bond. This bond's $500, no return to the scene, no contact with victims or witnesses.
What do you want to say?
Just the one. The other one was a notice to appear. There wasn't any bond.
Your Honor, what were the bond amounts? I'm sorry.
The new charge has a $500 bond. The one I revoked went to no bond, and I didn't touch the other bond. Let's see, well, he's not on notice to appear.
That's the case number ended in 7403.
What's that?
That's the case number ended in 7403.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, we'd waive his appearance.
Okay. And he has a trespass after warning. He's out on ROR, so we're going to revoke that ROR. That'll go to no bond. Order him not to return to the scene. PD's appointed. And in the new case, we'll have a $500 bond. No return.
That's what happened. Pay attention to the judge.
Okay, we have Sanders.
Yes, sir.
Trespass and occupied structure. You're out on that bond. You have a new trespassing charge. So we're going to revoke the old bond on the 2021 MM666AW. That'll go to no bond. Your new case is $250 bond, no return. PD's appointed.
You said $500 bond, Your Honor?
On the new one, yes.
Oh, $250.
What is it?
$250. $250.
Okay, Urbano? Okay, this is a Division 85 battery, bond of $500, no contact with a victim.
Your Honor, I do believe he qualifies for pretrial release.
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
No objection.
Okay, pretrial release, no contact with a victim. Washington, it's a petty theft charge, public defender's appointed. That bond is set at $250, Division 81.
You said 200? I'm sorry.
250?
250.
250, 250.
We're not going to get our because there's PC. So if you
Williams is next.
Your Honor, Mr. Williams has expressed that he does not want the public defender assigned.
You do not want the public defender? No, sir. You're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
You have any training, legal training?
I understand, sir. What's the charge?
You what?
What's the charge? What's the charge?
Your new charge is trespass on property after warning.
Okay, first of all.
Okay.
I'm bipolar suspector. You had me brought there. Trying to clean up. Last night and the night before. Girl got threatened last night. She locked the thing down. The store down. I had started working. Put trash and rug outside. It's not a trespass when she comes get me and have me working. Yeah, I'm bipolar schizophrenic. They work me without paying me. And also locked me up with this trespass. But it's a violation also of my right. Work me and not pay me. I'm bipolar. Respect it.
Okay, you're out on bond, sir, on a felony case, 2021 CF 5496AO.
Okay.
You're no
They been
longer,
working.
you're no longer out on that bond. I'm going to revoke that
I'm not
bond.
on that bond.
It's going to no bond. Your new trespass on property is a $500 bond, not to return to the scene. And I'm going to appoint the public defender.
I got a question. I've been, that case there, we've been in that case. I go back to court tomorrow for the same charge for cocaine. That, that'd be 1 o'clock, that'd be at 11 o'clock. Same location. They throwing it out at 11 o'clock. Kiss my turn. He coming back again. Last 2 nights, the same woman. Look out. She started working me 2 nights in a row. It's not a trespass once she started working. Also, they're not paying me on bipolar.
All right, sir, that's all for today.
Okay, I figured it was going to be that way. You can't do one, you give permission, but you don't get me for her filing my federal right.
Okay. Are we appointed the PD on that one? I don't know if there's mental health issues or.
Your Honor, he is appointed in the other case, 21 CF 5496. So he'd ask to be appointed to this case,
Yes.
Despite his objection.
Okay. Brown? Bonded? Yes. Okay. Said there was no bond, but there was a bond evidently? Yeah, 10,000. Okay. Diaz Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay, this is an out-of-county warrant. Bond is set at $2,500. Looks like a driving offense out of Osceola County.
Yes, they told, I went to court on Kissimmee and on Osceola, and they told me I went and got my license. I got my license. I went back to court. I showed them my license. They said my case was going to be dismissed. I went yesterday, 2 days ago. I bought me a car. New insurance, new policy, new everything. My license was good. And at the moment, my license is still good. So I went and got my license. They were supposed to drop that case for me. It's no reason for me to be here, sir. I work every day, and I got everything legal. I even went and got my license when they told me to go get it. I got them. I went and bought me a car, insurance, and everything.
Okay, hold on. Can we confirm he has a valid license anywhere?
I can check, Your Honor. But the KP is active.
Right.
I'm just trying to find the driver's license number.
I did exactly what they asked me to do. I did everything. I even went and bought me a car and everything, sir.
Your Honor, do you have that Osceola case number?
I have it. Oh, hold on one. 21 CT 443. And then I'm running. Your Honor, the driver's license that is on the, is in discovery on the case list. It says that it is still suspended. There is one suspension that is still, well, it's a cancellation that is pending and effective.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
So when did you get your license? Did you actually get the license?
You can look at my license. It says 9/25 on this year. I just got my license when when I went to court on Kissimmee, they sent me to go get my license. I went and got it within a week later. And if you look at, that's what I was trying to explain to the officers last night, because he said that my license was canceled 6 months ago. And I say, how come it's 6 months ago when I just got my license? And look at the date that I just got my license from Osceola DMV department. I just got my license and they just redo everything. I just paid, I paid almost $700 to get my license, sir. And last night when he pulled me over, he said that it shows that it been canceled 6 months ago. I said, it's no way. It can be canceled in 6 months when I just got this car brand new. The insurance company runs my license. If my license suspended on everything or anything, my license I won't be able to get no insurance, and I won't be able to get a car out of the dealership.
Sir, your license is still canceled.
When you got arrested on this warrant, were you driving a vehicle?
I was in there, I just bought the car, sir. Everything is in my name, insurance, everything.
I asked you if you were driving the car.
Yeah, I was driving the car.
Okay.
Thinking that my license is good.
Yeah, they didn't charge him with anything.
No, he didn't charge me with that. He just told me that my license was canceled, and I said I took care of all of that, you know.
It said he identified himself with a Florida driver's license.
If you got it, you go
I think
get my
they would have
wallet, you can
checked
look at
its
it while I'm-
validity, but
Your Honor, the capias is for the violation of pretrial release.
Yeah, it wasn't even my fault. It was I work for a roofing. I work for a roofing.
Sir.
said he violated his pretrial release?
Yes, by failing to report March, April, and May of 2021.
To pretrial release.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you post your bond of $2,500?
If you can go lower, it'd be better for me, man. I want to get out. I just started. I went and.
Okay, listen to my question. Can you post your bond of $2,500? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you might as well do that then. That'll get you out of jail, then you can go over to Osceola County, explain everything to them.
So how much I have to pay to get out?
You need to pay $250 to a bond.
Yes, you have a $2,500 bond. Mhm. Yes. All right, what is your name?
John Lawrence Lamera.
Okay, you have an out-of-county warrant. Looks like there's no bond on it.
Yeah, I was 21 minutes late to a steps meeting. Is there any way I can get bond?
No, I'll appoint the public defender here while you're here, but you'll have to go back to Seminole County, it looks like.
Do you know how soon that would be?
I don't know how long it takes, probably a week, I don't know. Robinson is next.
Your Honor, we waive her appearance.
Okay, these are out-of-county warrants. We'll appoint the public defender.
You took my clip.
So it says the bonds are 11,000? Okay, so those will be stayed. Vasquez? Okay. Waller? This is out-of-county warrant. There's no bond. Polk County, we'll appoint the PD here until you're transported. You're Jeremy Waller, yep. All right, what is your name?
Vladimir Borges.
Division 85, disorderly conduct, bond of 250 and 100. Qualify for pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
No?
He has an open case.
Oh, there's an open case?
Your Honor, We'd ask that no action be taken on the petty theft from case number 20MM9079. The reason being she's in pretrial diversion. It's not a pretrial release or out on bond. She has accepted the offer of the pretrial diversion. I know this is a county ordinance, so I'm not sure about that. She may be rejected from that program, but at this time, we'd ask for no action to be taken.
State?
They would leave it in your honor's discretion. She most likely will be kicked from the program.
What history do you have?
I actually didn't get a paper file for this person.
I believe it's because it's a county ordinance.
All right, we'll take no action on that. We'll stay the bonds at 250 and 100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Jesus.
We're almost done.
Hello?
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 Yes, thank you for calling the Woodline Solutions. This is Desiree, ID 376273. I'll be your Haitian Creole interpreter today.
Okay, we have Mr. Celestine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I do have a probable cause challenge for this.
Okay, we will appoint the Public Defender's Office. This is Division 12. All right, and what? Is she interpreting? She doesn't have headphones on? Just does it over there? So can you interpret what I'm saying, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm here. Okay.
So right now, the public defender has a probable cause issue. Go ahead, public defender. So can you repeat that, ma'am?
Okay, excuse the interpreter, Your Honor. Is it for Haitian Creole?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse the interpreter. Yo tou cause nan gon défense publique. I cannot excuse the interpreter, Your Honor. I cannot hear the
Interpreter, could you ask him if he understands?
Est-ce qu'on comprend?
Oui.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense does not believe that there's probable cause for the charge of battery.
Okay, state.
Sorry, Your Honor, I was waiting for the translator to translate before I
Okay.
go any further.
You need to translate whatever is said from this point so the defendant will understand.
Okay.
Do I need to repeat what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
At this time, the defense does not believe that there's probable cause for the count of battery.
OK, et défense n'a pas pensé que gen un problème avec à cause de batterie.
The alleged victim in the case did admit to law enforcement that this was mutual combat.
Excuse the interpreter. Would you mind repeating the statement, please, for better rendition?
The alleged victim in the case did admit to law enforcement that this was mutual combat.
Thank you for that. Et victime admet que c'est un combat mutuel.
Right, but I don't think he agreed to the knife.
Your Honor, we are only challenging the battery itself, not the other count.
Well, he was hit with the knife according to the report, right?
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Struck on the side of the head with the handle of the knife.
Is that for the interpreter?
Yes.
OK, thank you. Il était avec un couteau?
Thank you.
Hello?
Is there any history state?
Yes. No, Your Honor.
There's no victim here?
No.
So interpreter, if you can tell him I'm going to order when he's released, he's not to have any contact with the victim.
OK, le yo lage ou pas gen aucun contact avec victime nan.
He qualifies for straight PTR, Your Honor.
State, any objection to pretrial release?
Your Honor, the state would ask that there also be a monetary bond set, given the nature of the charges.
We'll set a $1,000 bond on count one, $100 bond on count two, no contact with the victim.
Ils ont $1,000 bon. Et puis, et pour premier, $100 et pour deuxième, nan, et pas de contact avec victime. Nan.
Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
It's Division 12 at this point. Okay, thank you, interpreter.
You're welcome. Thank you for using our services. Have a good day.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, we'll be in recess.